Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm constantly running behind all of a sudden. Don't ask me why. Also, you guys are going to have to let me know if you can hear me, because as always, I have some music going, but I can adjust it. As you can see, there's our moon and my hands. Yay, hands! So, our goal tonight is to finish this piece. That is my goal. I am hoping that we get it. You know, we didn't get the smoke nearly as bad as I think other places did. We got it. It was hazy. It gave us some spectacular sunsets, but we didn't get it nearly like other places did. I mean, and we got that silly Arctic cold front, which, yeah, I need to stop complaining about things like heat, because Mother Nature heard me complaining about the heat and smacked us with almost frost. And I'm like, okay, that was an overcorrection there, Mother Nature. So, I think we're supposed to finally warm back up to something that kind of resembles the temperature that we're supposed to be at. Hopefully. I don't know. Okay, my big question is I mixed up some colors already. One of the moons is going to have a golden tint. One of the moons is going to be silvery, and this one I've already decided the lady moon is going to have a pink hue to her. But I'm kind of torn between if the full moon should be silvery or if the full moon should be golden. So, what do you think? Silver or gold? As I sit here and suck down a drink really quick. No, I can't put it there. That's a very silly place. So yeah, I'm just debating over that, but I guess I can start on the background and we can all decide what we're going to do as far as the moon colors when we get there. So I actually bought some clear glue, which seems to make a big difference in the clarity of color that you get. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a little bit insane. I know it got really bad in a lot of places. Like I said, I'm very thankful. I don't know what color I like better. That's kind of why I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of throw it out there to chat. Because, I mean, both colors are going to be used. I'm just not sure which color I want on which one. Also, I added a opalescent paint to all of my paints. So they all have a little bit of glitter to them, which is exciting. I don't know. I like glitter. Glitter makes Christine happy. Oh, Hazel, you said that you don't have Instagram or Twitter, right? I think you said that once. So I definitely have to remember to show you my latest projects that are actually going to be for a giveaway if and when my channel ever hits 2,000 subscribers. Hello, Georgia. Yes, I can. I can totally turn down the background music. In fact, I can do it right there. Is that better? Hopefully that is better. Let me know, Georgia, if that is a better volume. Okay, well, once I get this background done, don't let me forget. I've been working on making some tote bags And if and when my channel hits 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway of 3 tote bags that are all going to be painted by me. So it's one of those kind of a thank you to you guys just for subscribing and listening to me babble and turning up at my live streams and all of that. And I've already done 1.5 of the tote bags, depending on how fast I get this piece done. We might work on the other half of the tote bag that I started today. And they're kind of just those little reusable shopping bags, basically. And I bought them, they're just a blank canvas, and then I got fabric paint. And I've been painting them, and I've been having a blast with it. Oh my gosh, it is so much fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think painting anything is fun. Hello, Rose! How are you? We're painting today, because painting is fun. Art is fun. Oh, it's okay. Georgia, if I miss anything, you guys just tag me, because a lot of the time I'm going to be looking at what I'm doing in front of me and not the chat, but I will keep turning my head to check out the chat. But yeah, once I finish up this background, I will show you what I've been working on this week. And like I said, if and when I ever hit the 2,000 subscriber mark, we'll do a giveaway. And this time, unlike the t-shirt giveaway that I did last year for my birthday, there will actually be 3 prizes. So more chances. Yay! It's not like a first, second, and third prize, because all the prizes will be tote bags. It's just, there'll be 3 of them, because 3 is a good number. And also because that's how many tote bags were in the pack of blank tote bags I bought. Also, I see Tripod and Scruffy out eating seeds. We had 2 baby raccoons show up the other night, but they took off before I could get them on camera. They were very young, and they were very cute. Gotta love baby raccoons. Actually, baby anything. Oops, I just painted right over that. Thankfully, a Sharpie can fix it. So how has everybody been this week? I hope everybody is doing good. I mean, I know Hazel already said that she's dealing with some of the wildfire thing. Well, you know, I'm having so much fun doing them, I might have to buy some more packs just for myself to paint, because they look fantastic. You know, a lot of people complain about possums, but did you know that possums can eat, I think it was like 250 ticks an hour? I am 1,000% in favor of anything that eats ticks, because ticks are disgusting. When I lived in Tennessee, we had ticks so bad, and that was when I discovered I don't have a deathly allergy to ticks, but I definitely react when they bite me, and I react pretty darn bad. I end up with a fever that usually lasts 2 or 3 days if a tick actually bites in and digs into me. So, I don't like ticks. Oh, Hazel, I did not think that you were saying that ticks were cute. If you had, I don't know. I don't think we could be friends if you thought ticks were cute. No, I'm kidding. I can be friends with almost anybody. Although, I don't know. I might draw the line at ticks. Oh, I like the way this is coming out. Yeah, I don't like... Most bugs are terrible. This year, Hazel, how are the mosquitoes for you this year? Because this year, here, the mosquitoes are absolutely bad. I have not gotten nearly as many outside walks in as I want to, because even though normally ticks leave me, or not ticks, but mosquitoes leave me alone, they're even biting me. And I don't think I've seen them this bad in a couple years at least. So I've been hiding in the house, but on a good note, when I went to the big city of Marquette, I picked up a pedometer because my stupid Fitbit died. And I just didn't want to buy another $100 and some Fitbit. That just seems like such a waste. So I just picked up a $4 pedometer and I hook it on every day. And I have been making sure to get my 10,000 steps every day. And I'm hoping it helps. I know that you can't out-train a bad diet, and eventually I'll probably have to start working about, cutting calories and stuff, but darn it, 10,000 steps a day can help. So that's what I've been doing. I just go and do laps of the basement. Uh-oh, what did Rose say? Oh, I'm sorry that a possum ate your chickens. I know that when I had chickens when I lived in Tennessee, I was always worried about possums getting into them. Usually for me, it wasn't the possums, it was the foxes, and sometimes I just gave the foxes a pass because they were cute. I mean, I love my chickens, but I remember one year we had a mama fox who made her little burrow right in our yard. And she raised her babies, and yes, she did take out a couple of the chickens from my chicken coop, but the babies were worth it. I was like, okay, yes, you're eating my chickens, but also, oh my gosh, look at these babies. It's funny, people actually keep chickens up here, but I'm not sure I would have, not really the guts to keep them up here, but I feel like keeping them up here on the lake with the possums and the foxes and the wolves, the occasional bear, even if I've never seen one. I've seen lynxes up here. I've seen little bobcats, and I'm like, keeping chickens in the middle of the woods seems like it would be a losing battle. So I just haven't tried it. The neighbor across the street actually, or not across the street, across the lake actually has chickens, though. I hear them occasionally. So I wish more power to her. She is a braver woman than I am. I wouldn't mind having a nice steady supply of eggs again, though. Hello, Era and Elo's vlog. Welcome. We are painting a window. This is a window that used to be in the cabin that I lived in, or that I live in. It is original to the cabin, and when I had new windows put in and insulation, I knew that I wanted to do something with these. So I've been saving them, and when I saw someone doing these faux stained glass windows, I said to myself, you know what? I want to give that a try. And then I said to myself, you know what? I want to give that a try on a live stream. And so here we are. So welcome. I have no idea how long this stream is going to go. It will go until either I get tired or we get this window done. So welcome. I hope that you enjoy your stay here. Also, I do have another light set up. If anybody needs more light, I turned it off before the stream started, mostly because I thought it was really casting some bad shadows. So, but I can turn it on if anybody wants a little more light on everything. So with this window, I'm not gonna go really thick with the paint. I kind of want this one to be a little bit more translucent. So that's why I'm not going super thick and just laying the paint on really, really thick. I kind of want it to be very light and translucent. I don't know if that's gonna give me the stained glass effect, but it will give me the effect I think I want for it. Move that a little bit and hopefully not mess anything up. So I have not seen or heard anything from Becky in a little bit. I hope that her mother is okay. And I also hope that she was able to give this a try with her crafting group. I know she was thinking about trying the faux stained glass with the crafting group that she's in. Yeah, I mean, you can get a good shimmer even when it's thick, but I really want a very light look in this one. Now, I did do one very, very thick, and I think that was in one of my Sunday videos, the bookworm, and I like the way he turned out. You know, he definitely looks a little bit more stained glass, which was the effect that I was going for. But on this one, I want it to be light. Mostly light anyway. I'm definitely seeing the shimmer. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but I am definitely seeing the shimmer to my naked eye, which I'm really digging. So yeah, this has been a very weird week. Actually, last week, from about, I would say, Tuesday on, our week got really weird last week, because we actually had frost warnings the last couple of nights. I didn't actually go out and cover the garden, so I'm very grateful that we didn't get a frost. But we had frost warnings in June. After we were in the mid-90s. I was deeply offended by that. Now I have to go back and make sure that there are not too many, like, bubbles. I always hate it when there's bubbles in the paint, because they inevitably dry and pop when they're halfway dry, and then it just looks terrible. Alright, we have blue! Yay, blue! Oh wait, I see a spot I missed. I mean, I know that I live in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and I know that Michigan's Upper Peninsula has really dumb weather sometimes, but frost in June or snow in June is just... no thank you. June is for summer, December is for snow. And this is the way it's supposed to be. I think, it is 52.3 degrees outside. My wonderful neighbor had a spare weather station, so now I actually know what the temperature is outside. Because I have a weather station, and I'm probably going to deeply regret having the weather station when it's like 20 below this winter. But right now it's kind of fun to look out there and say, hey, it's this many degrees. All right, let me show you a couple things before I forget. If you remember, we did the lovebirds, the outline of the lovebirds on the last live stream, and I went ahead and I colored them in. This one I did with glitter paint, so it's a little bit on the ridiculous side, but I still like it. I think it came out very, very cute. And then this one, if you didn't see the video, this is my stained glass bookworm. There we go. You can actually see him, and he is not full of glare. So those are the two that I did last week. And then I'm going to knock things over. Thankfully, you can't see all the things I'm knocking over behind you. And then here are the tote bags that I did. Let me make sure that this does not actually touch the moon, because I don't want to smear the paint, so I'll just put that right there. Alright, so this is the first one. This one is actually completely done. And it is, as you can see, just a regular old tote bag that you can take shopping. And then the back side of it is just a little bit of a skyscrape, and it just says dream. I really like it. So that one is one of the potential giveaway prizes for if I hit the 2,000 subscriber mark. The next one that I worked on today is completely different in tone. I really like the black cat on the moon. This one is a completely different tone. No, he does not have purple eyes. Well, he could have purple eyes because you can't see him. You can't see his eyes. So his eyes can be whatever color you want them to be, Georgia. You just use your imagination. I love that cat. He's very cute. Anyway, the second one, like I said, completely different tone, but I think it came out very cute. And that is my little unicorn. And if we get this window done and I have enough ambition, then we're going to do the other side of this tonight, but I don't know. It all depends on how much ambition I have after we get this window done. But the other side is going to be the same unicorn. And it's funny because this is a drawing I actually did on a live stream a very long time ago, but you can kind of see it's just the unicorn when he's a little bit frazzled. And that's going to go on the other side. So, yeah. Those are the 2 tote bags. And I don't know what I'm going to do for the 3rd tote bag. I'm going to do something. It's just kind of... Yeah, actually it is. I definitely wanted him to be on the rainbow because we support Pride here. So... Plus, I just love that little unicorn. Like, he looks so cute and so happy, and then you flip the bag over and he's gonna be just looking so frazzled and so in need of coffee, you know? Alright, now we have the question. Should this moon have a golden tint? Or should this moon have a silver tint? We just have to figure it out. It was actually Anne McCaffrey, Georgia. Honestly, it's one of McCaffrey's series that I don't like as much. Like, I'm not saying that I don't like it at all. I just did not get as much joy from Acorna. Gold? Alright, we're going to go with gold for this moon. Let me pop open the paint that I already mixed, and we will begin. But yeah, I have at least a couple of the Acorna books, but it's not one that I tend to go back and reread almost ever. I don't know what it is about that one. It's just not a me book. That being said, I did enjoy it, just not nearly as much as the rest of her stuff. Oh, if you have not seen it, I do have a poll on the community tab for the next series. Since we are almost through The Ship Who Won, I put up a poll and you can vote on it, and when we are done with the book, whichever series has the most votes will be the next one that we read. So the choices are between The Planet Pirates, which is 5 books in the series, and that is Dinosaur Planet Survivors, The Death of Sleep, Sassenach, and Generation Warriors, or the Crystal Singer series, which is 3 books, and that is Kilishandra, Crystal Song, and Crystal Line. So, if you have not voted, definitely go and do that. I mean, no huge rush. I'm not going to pick the next series until probably the next week or so, because I think we're going to be finishing up The Ship Who Won probably in the next couple of weeks. So I wanted to get that poll up. Yay. I need to make a virtual trip to thrift books here soon, because there's another Anne McCaffrey series that I would not mind reading, but I don't have all of them anymore, and that is the Peterby series. I really enjoy the first trilogy of that. The second trilogy, the Changelings trilogy, I've read and I don't like as much as Powers That Be, Power Lines, and Power Play, but it's a very good series. I can give one here, and then I can see if I can add a general description in the poll. But in a general description, the Planet Pirate series, and it ties in with the Dinosaur Planet series. It is basically the story of one woman / one family, and we're in the technological future, and a theme that's very heavy in the Planet Pirate series is to facilitate space travel through the years. They've perfected the art of cold sleep. So, you can basically be put under for travel or for medical reasons or, stuff like that. And the main character of most of these books is a medic named Lunzi. And she has been in cold sleep a lot. And it is to her detriment. She kind of learns to deal with it. Dinosaur Planet and Dinosaur Planet Survivors, well, the name is kind of descriptive, and they tie into the Planet Pirates book because a lot of Lunzi's problems stem from planet piracy. It's a very complicated book, but it's a very good book. And then the Crystal Singers books actually touch into the Brain Ship series a little bit, because there are brain ships in the Crystal Singer world, and they do show up periodically. But the Crystal Singer series begins with a young woman named Kilashandra, and she is a music student, and we meet up with her the day she is told that her voice is not good enough to be a soloist. And so everything that happens from there there's a lot. But there is an alternative employment for her, even if the people on her planet don't want her to know about it. And that is singing crystal. So she goes to the planet of Ballyrabin. I'm probably saying that wrong, but then again, that is on brand for me. I've never read Decision at Duna. That is one of Anne McCaffrey's books that I still have not read. I've heard it's good. Anyway, Crystal Singer. Kilashandra goes to the planet Peterby. Or not Peterby. Wow. There goes my brain. She goes to the planet Ballyrabin. And the unique thing about this planet is it is filled with crystal. And a interesting symbiote that exists on the planet that makes it so that whatever lives on the planet can actually live there. And there's a whole lot more, but I don't want to like do a massive spoiler. So basically, you've got singing or some very heavy topics about mortality and piracy. I love the Planet Pirate series is... I don't know if it's my favorite Anne McCaffrey series, but it is up there. And one of the books in that series, The Death of Sleep, I have always loved. And I think the older I get... Yeah, oh, we'll read them all eventually. The older I get, the more I identify with the main character of The Death of Sleep, Lunzi. I don't know what it is about her. Like, Anne McCaffrey was always really good at making you sympathize with her characters, you know, putting you in their head, making them relatable. But for whatever reason, Lunzi just has always felt very, very relatable and very real to me. And oh my gosh, now we just need to paint some stars, and this first panel is actually pretty much done. That's exciting. Well, and we'll do the border, but I think we'll save the border for the very last. Also, I'm hoping that everybody is up for a very interesting book in our kids series next, because I am sticking with Tamora Pierce, and I am sticking in Alana's world, but we're going to go on to my absolute number one favorite of her Turtle series. And it's kind of a, not a controversial favorite, but I feel like most people aren't as into it as I am. And that is her Terrier books, which is back in time, much further back in time than the Alana books are set. And I just really like them. A lot of people, I feel like, don't like them as much because they're written in a journal or a diary style. But that's actually one of the reasons I do love them so much, I think. And they follow Becca Cooper. And yes, that would be George Cooper's ancestor. Or would that be ancestress? I'm not sure. And there's even a special someone in that series who we know and love from the Alana books, which I think is very cool. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. We actually got that first panel done. What do you guys think? I might actually hit a little bit more blue in some of these spots, but I might also wait until it dries, because the glue makes it a little bit tricky to know where we are going. Speaking of where we are going, let's move this a little bit. There we go. I think that works. And maybe do like... There we go. We can kind of see that now. Trying to make this so the camera can see it is very exciting. Alright, back to the blue. So this moon will be a silver moon, since that one is... I do not have that series, and I am very sad because I have read the Bark Cat series. I love the Bark Cat series, but I don't own that series. I borrowed it from the library when I lived in Houghton, and I've never looked for it online. I could probably find it from thrift books, but it is one I have not looked for yet. I did like the Bark Cats, though. There are so many good books in this world. Alright. Back to the background. Yay! I haven't thought about that series in a while. I also was reminded, I got a comment on a video the other day, one of my older ones, the rescue run. And I got a comment from somebody that never even knew. Oh, okay, let me fix that. Let me just smear stuff everywhere. Camera, be nice. Alright, I think it's focusing again. No, it's not. I hate it when it does this. Sometimes if I just turn it and then turn it again, it calms itself down. Okay. I think we fixed it. Thank you for letting me know. Or I would not have known until I looked up at it. Yell if that happens again. Also, I just completely forgot what I was going to talk about. Because, oh, the comment that I got. Anyway, I got a comment, and it kind of reminded me that I have some short stories that Anne McCaffrey wrote that maybe I should read and just kind of put out the way I did Honeymoon. Just as a short story, just randomly one day. And they're all centered around the first fall. You know, I don't know if that's actually fixing anything or if I'm just kind of delaying something. But it seems to have worked. There we go. But yeah, it's a book of short stories called The Legends of Pern or Legends of the First Fall or something. And it has the only other Anne McCaffrey story that has dolphins in it, which is kind of neat. Because that's one regret that I have. Well, not regret, because I'm not the one that was the author. But I really wish that she would have done more with the dolphins of Pern. Because dolphins are fun. I also have another book of Anne McCaffrey short stories. And they're all very varied. Like, they are not necessarily Pern or even tied into a lot of her other series. They're just kind of their own thing. There's one of them that I don't think I could read on channel, mostly because it makes me sob like a baby every time I read it to myself, so I don't know if I could read it out loud. I mean, goodness knows I've cried enough on, well, reading books, but It's called Habit is an Old Horse, and it's literally about an old woman who dies and her horse is waiting by the window for her to come. And it's so heartbreaking. It's such a good story, but it's heartbreaking. Damia is one I don't know. And I don't it's not the age gap between Afra and Damia that makes me feel like maybe it's not the right thing to read out loud on the channel. It's not the age gap between them. It's the power dynamic. I really wish that Anne McCaffrey had not written it that way. Like, the older I get, the more icky I feel about the Afra and Damia relationship. And it really sucks because I love that series. That is really the only objection that I have to that series. It's almost like in the Twilight books / movies, the whole thing with the imprinting on an infant thing. It's the same level of ick to me. So I don't know. I keep thinking about it because, like I said, I like the Tower and the Hive. I like going all the way back to Get Off the Pegasus and seeing how the whole talent started. But the Afra-Damia relationship, the older I get, the more ick factor it gives me, and it makes me very sad. But yeah, I always feel like I need to reiterate that it's not the age gap between Afra and Damia that I object to. It's the power dynamic that he has introduced. Afra is introduced as basically Damia's godfather, teacher, her mother's best friend, and then they get together. Thankfully, they get together when she's an adult, which, if not, that would have given me even more ick factor. But I don't know. I'm going to put the pin in that one because it does give good opportunities for some very good discussions to be had. But I don't know. We'll stick a pin in that one. It was funny because somebody said, well, don't I object to, in the Crystal Singer books, the age difference between Lars and Kilishandra, and actually, I don't think there was much of an age difference between the two of them, and there wasn't a power dynamic difference. Which I think is, like I said, I think that might be the thing that gives me the ick factor about their relationship. There we go. Guys, I think I'm getting faster at this. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Also, I managed to get a drop of blue right in the middle of the tree. Yeah, Kilishandra and Shad had a really big age difference, but again, it wasn't the age difference. That's not the part I objected to. It's the power dynamic and the fact that Afra was basically Damia's godfather, teacher, mother's best friend. I think it smacks of dynamics that I really get a big ick out of. And it's funny because I don't think I got as big of an ick out of it when I was younger as I do now that I'm older. So, I don't know. Like I said, we can put a pin in that series and think about it later. We have a lot of other series that I would love to get into first, so I think it was the time that Anne McCaffrey was writing in, because I feel like age gap relationships between people that probably should not be having relationships, like the whole teacher-student relationships, etc. I feel like that was very, very common when those books were written. It doesn't make it any less of an ick factor, though. That's like, Tamora Pierce wrote a series that I love. I don't have it anymore because I loaned it to a friend and never got it back, which happens from time to time. But in it, it also has a relationship that gives me the same ick factor, because it is between a basically teacher and young student, and even if they don't get together until she is fully an adult, it still gives me the ick. And it's not the age difference, it's the power dynamic. Yeah, age does bring a different perspective. It's funny because politically, I think the older I get, the more kind of liberal I get politically. But different things in relationships and things like that, I don't know, I'm just seeing things very different now. Alright, we have blue again. Let me get that out of there. So now that is gone. Yay! Alright, now this middle moon is going to be our silvery moon. I'm not going to sing it, but everybody quickly start singing By the Light of the Silvery Moon if you know it. Oh my goodness. Actually, before I do that, I am going to run and do a very quick human break. So everybody, if you need to get a drink, run to the restroom, any of those things, I will be right back. Yeah, I do know that, Georgia. It's just... yeah. And that is a common thing from back then, just like the whole child brides, etc. And just because you know it happens doesn't mean it's going to stop giving you the ick, though. Anyway, I'm going to take a really quick human break. I would say that I'll be paying the Parky tax, except if I bring Parky up here, we're going to have footprints in the painting, and that would not be a good thing. So I will be back in like a minute, 2 minutes tops, all right? Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Yay! I do have Get Off the Unicorn. So, yeah. That is another group of stories that actually ties into the Damia series because it shows the beginning of the talents. That's a good series. But George, or Gregory, I don't know why I wanted to call you George. Probably because you and Georgia have the same colored icon almost. Gregory, if you haven't seen on my community tab, I have a poll up now for the next Anne McCaffrey series that we're going to be reading. It's either going to be the Planet Pirate series or it will be the Kilishandra Crystal Singer books. So if you want to go put a vote in, we'll be starting it as soon as we finish up with The Ship Who Won. And I will close that poll probably when we hit the last chapter of The Ship Who Won. I definitely don't have all of Anne McCaffrey's books, and this is too small of a paintbrush. Let's go back to the big brush. But I have a lot of Anne McCaffrey. She basically takes up one entire shelf plus a little bit on one of my bookshelves. Hello, Scooter! We're painting pictures tonight. It's great fun. There we go. It's good to see you, Scooter. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Well, except in the comment section, of course. So, yeah, Scooter, also, if you have not seen it already, I have a poll in the community tab for the next Anne McCaffrey series. So if you want to throw your vote in, you can go ahead and do so. The poll will be open for a while, so you've got time. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody knows about the poll, because polls are exciting. Also, I think it's the first poll I've ever put in my community tab, so that's fun. It's always fun to do a first. Also, I think I've already said this before, but you weren't here. If/when my channel hits the 2,000 subscriber mark, I am going to be doing a giveaway, and I showed 2 of the prizes already tonight because they're original paintings by me on canvas tote bags. And I think they came out pretty cute, and depending on how ambitious I am when we finish up this window, we might move on and work on another one of the canvas totes. Because art is fun, and it's fun to chat with you guys. I like it here. It's a fun place. Oh, I really like the silver. It turns out really pretty. So, Scooter, the stuff that you were talking about putting around the plants, is it, I know you said dolomite, but would diazinon work? Is that the same thing? Because diazinon, well, I don't have saddlebags. I have, like, reusable shopping totes. So demanding. Just kidding. Once I finish up this moon, I will pull out the totes and show you again. Or show them off again. Or I might just wait until we finish the window so I don't accidentally smear this paint, which would probably make me very sad. You know, being left-handed is definitely an adventure. I think I've put my hand into this paint at least 3 times already. I'm trying to be very careful and not do that. But being left-handed is so interesting. I have not actually looked at the community tab yet, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And it really, we're gonna end up reading both series, so really the big thing is just which one becomes the next that we read. They're both good. Okay, well, it turns out then I don't have dolomite. I do have diazinon, and I know that works against insects. I just don't know if it will do the same thing that you were talking about the dolomite doing. Oh, okay, I really like this silver because it's got almost a marbled look to it. You know, I will have you know that in my household, both me and my son are lefties, so lefties are the majority here. I could try to do a lighthouse rose. I've actually thought about that. I need to practice drawing lighthouses. It would feel very Michigan to draw a lighthouse. Oh, I hear raccoons getting into a fight. Oh, that actually makes a very large bonus then. Alright, well the next time I go to town, I will try to remember dolomite. Although, whatever took out my green beans seems to have stopped. And now it's just my poor hens and chicks that is getting decimated almost nightly. I'm not sure it's gonna make it. Lefties are a very, 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 very large majority in my house. In fact, I felt a little bit bad for my youngest son because I'm a lefty and my oldest son is a lefty and my youngest son is right-handed. And so because the majority in the house were lefties, everything in our house, unlike most people's houses, were set up for left-handed people. You know? So my youngest son is one of the few right-handed people I know who uses his mouse left-handed because every time he would move the mouse when he was a kid, he would get yelled at. So, yeah, he learned how to use the computer mouse left-handed, I guess out of self-defense to stop from getting yelled at about moving the mouse. So, I don't know. I can actually do a couple things right-handed because I had to learn to do them right-handed when I was in school. But for the vast majority of everything, my right hand is too stupid to be believed and is kind of not good at doing much of anything. I think the only thing I can do right-handed is use a can opener, and I can use scissors either left or right-handed. So, other than that, if I ever break my left hand, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. I know that everything is set up for righties, but I don't know. I think the only thing that really got me was when I was in the army. M16s don't come for left-handed people. They just don't. And I could not, for the life of me, switch my hands around and actually shoot right-handed. So the hot brass was ejecting directly into my face. So that kind of sucked. That was not cool. I think that was the only time I've ever really regretted being left-handed. But other than that, you know, it's mostly good. Oh my gosh, Scooter, that's... I guess you kind of had to learn to do stuff right-handed then. That is a very delicate little piece. Whew. You know what I just realized? I should have started at the top and worked my way down, because now I have to reach above this and try my darndest not to drag my hand all through the moon. I have faith in me. I can do this. I just have to be very precise about it. You know, it's funny. I have, I think, 12 or 13 more of these windows that I can eventually paint. And then I have to find people to give them away to. Because I don't think I want this many art pieces around the house. It would be a little bit, a little much. But I think a couple of my neighbors who help me out in the winter with plowing and stuff are going to get a window, you know, as like a thank you. I might not be, like, good for much, but I can definitely make presents and food for people. Definitely make food. Alright, speaking of food, what did everybody have for dinner? Did you have something good? Hopefully you had something good. I had leftovers, but they were good leftovers, so, you know. I wasn't going to have leftovers. I was going to make kielbasa and potatoes for dinner tonight. And then I got busy painting, and the next thing I knew, it was definitely time to eat, you know? So I ended up just going ahead and pulling out the old leftovers. I knew there was a reason that I always cook extra. It's because I always know that there are going to be a couple of days when I'm just like, I don't want to cook anything because I am busy. Ooh, that sounds good, Hazel. I love my crock pot. I know a lot of people are all about the Instapot, but I just don't have the counter space right now for another countertop item. And I'm like, I've got my crock pot, I've got my rice cooker, I've got all the appliances I need for now. I guess if the oven ever goes out, I'll get an Instapot instead of buying a new oven, but other than that, I just don't have room in the house for yet another gadget. Ooh, fish and fried potatoes. Alright, I'm loving all the potatoes. Bratwurst. Very nice. I am totally into all of those ideas. There's nothing wrong with bratwurst. Brats are very popular up here. Yeah, in the summertime when it gets hot, I either want to use my crock pot or I want to just grill outside. Italian beef and fries. So I had leftover ribs because I made slow cooked the country pork ribs. I made those the other night, and mashed potatoes. And I had leftovers of both. And it was good, but it's never as good as leftovers. You ever notice how some things are absolutely perfect as leftovers and other things are just kind of okay as leftovers? Like soups and stews, I swear they're all better on the second day and the third day. But then some meals just are okay, just not as good, you know? But the ribs were good. The mashed potatoes were still pretty good, so it worked. I've definitely gotten better at doing stuff like ribs in the oven even. I turn them on at like about 200 degrees and then I just leave them to cook for hours. Oh, you have to be on a diet, George. I should be on a diet. Instead, I'm just trying the 10,000 steps a day diet. Which is not a diet, it's just, I'm trying to cut my portions, but I'm also not in the mood to go back down to like 800 calories a day or something stupid. So I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm trying to also do it in a more sustainable way than I guess I did the last time I lost weight. You know? Because I did really good, but I definitely had the calories too low, and then when I added calories back in, it mostly all came back. Yeah, I kind of figured that, Georgia. I like the crock pot because it doesn't heat up the house in the summertime. Now, sometimes I also use my very favorite piece of kitchen equipment, and that is I have a cast iron Dutch oven that I love, you know? And it does, you can almost get the same pull apart texture on like brisket or something in the cast iron Dutch oven as you can in like a crock pot or a smoker. I love that thing. It is so good. And it's funny because I found it when I moved here in a corner of the basement covered in rust, and who knows what else. And I pulled it out of the basement, and I pulled out the steel wool, and I scoured that thing, and then I re-seasoned it, and now it's probably my very favorite pot of any pot or pan. I'm really digging this silver. It's giving it an almost marbled effect, which is very fitting for the moon. All right. There we go. After you scrub and scour it and get all the rust and everything off of it, you coat it in oil. I think I ended up using just a canola oil, or maybe it was a peanut oil. And then you put it in the oven and basically bake the oil into the cast iron. I don't remember what temperature you put it in at, but you put it in at a pretty high temperature for about an hour or two. And then you take it off and you take it out of the oven, you let it cool. And after it cools, it's basically almost non-stick. It is so awesome. Cast iron is my favorite thing to cook with. I think I have 5 cast iron pots and pans, all inherited from either my mom or my grandma, which is the other thing I love about cast iron, is it's pretty much impossible to break or do anything bad to. We're getting there, folks. We are getting there. I use soap on it, which I am sure is going to get all of the cast iron purists up in arms at me, but I wash it and then immediately dry it. And periodically I will just put a light coat of oil on it, but it really doesn't need it. I think most people say that you're just supposed to wipe it, but that kind of gives me the icks. So I use soap on mine. And like I said, I know that probably is making people who are cast iron purists just pull their hair out, but it works for me, and my cast iron pans don't seem to rust, which is, I think, why a lot of people say don't wash it with soap and water. But I do, and it seems to be fine. I just make sure to dry it right away, and periodically I will just do a light coat of oil in the pan itself and then wipe it out with a paper towel. I know, I wash with soap. My pans, too. Who'da thunk it? Alright, there we go. Now, the next big question is the tree itself. Should I do like a brownish color, or should I make the tree a fantastical color. I know that the soap is supposed to remove the oil. That's why I add more oil. I don't know. Like I said, it seems to work, and I've been cooking with these pans for the last 7 years. So I'm probably doing it wrong, but whatever I'm doing wrong seems to be working. If that makes anything that even remotely sounds like sense. I never said I was perfect, or even remotely close. We'll do the tree in black. All right. The owl, what color should our owl be? Because I don't want the owl to be black if the tree is going to be in black. Although it's going to be a sparkly black, I do believe. Because we are almost done with this moon. So I'm waiting kind of impatiently. Well, not impatiently. I sent some friends a piece of art that I think they should be getting. Well, it should be there already, and I'm kind of curious how they liked it. So I'm kind of waiting on word of how they liked it, because I get really nervous giving away any sort of art. Dark brown sounds good. I'm always a little bit afraid when I give somebody something that I drew or painted. I'm always a little bit afraid that they're only taking it to be nice to me. Yes, I have great self-confidence. So, especially if I send it to somebody like far away, I definitely am absolutely afraid that they're going to be like, yeah, it was great, and then just kind of toss it in the trash or something. Yep, I have great self-confidence, don't I, folks? Can't help it, though. I see all the flaws in everything I do, you know? Oh, see, I've never had any problems with it getting overly smoky unless I'm really doing something that I shouldn't be doing with it. Like, I have had it smoke a little bit if I'm browning beef at a really high heat. But other than that, I usually don't have smoking issues. We are self-critical, but that is always my biggest thing, is I'm like, you know, I keep giving away all of this art that I do, and I'm always so nervous that people are just like, yeah, great, that's nice, I really didn't want it, but I'll take it, and I'll put it in the back corner of my basement. But yeah, I know that I am self-critical. Alright, I need a thing to put paint in because I don't need this giant one. Well, Rose, it's not going to have any eyes because we're seeing it from the back. So we won't have any eyes on the owl. I mean, obviously the owl has eyes. We just can't see them. Alright, I have to find my palette. There it is. I should have cleaned my palette. Well, that's okay. I don't need much. Okay, I also found out I have got so much artwork, especially over this last year, piling up around the house that I need to give it away to people because I have too much. But I don't want to, like, impose on anybody if they don't actually want it. So, that's, you know, that's a me problem, though. Alright, I need black, and I need brown. So we pull out the bucket of handy dandy acrylic paint here, so we can do some mixing. Did all that dry? That's terrible. Alright, we've got brown for our owl. I need to actually move the palette to where you guys can kind of see it. There we go. Now, I'm using a clear school glue. Scooter's gonna have to answer on that one, because, I mean, I know it can be used at high heat, and it does a good job, but I don't think you have to, because I've definitely done low heat and cast iron many times. I just know that cast iron is like my very favorite thing. Alright, there is our black. That is definitely black. That would be interesting, Gregory. I don't think I've ever sold anything. It feels weird. Oh, come on. I have an electric range, too. There's nothing wrong with them. I have not had a gas stove since I think I was a kid. I know I had a gas stove growing up, but I have not had a gas stove in 40 or 50 years. Well, okay, maybe 40 years. Alright, I need to add some sparkle to these. Because we like to sparkle. A little bit. You know, I am what might be called frugal if you're being kind, and cheap if you're not being kind. And the stove that is in this cabin has been in the cabin for at least the last 30 years, and it still works, and I'm not replacing it. Because if something still works, it stays. So I guess I will have a conversation about other cooking methods when my stove finally dies. Which might be a very long time with luck. Thrifty? Thrifty is a good word too. When I'm feeling very kind, I just call myself frugal. And when I'm being very honest, I call myself cheap. Either one works. They're both true. I just hate to waste things, you know? I like to use something as long as I possibly can. I don't like to throw things away. Unless they're broken, you know? Alright, we are going in with the black for our tree. And I need a bigger one. I do have a little bit of Scottish in me, so sure, we'll go with that. I still need to go back onto my Ancestry DNA thing and see if they've changed anything else. It was so weird, because I knew when I did the Ancestry DNA, I knew it was going to come up with Scottish and German, because those were two parts of my heritage that I knew about very well. Bang for the buck, I like that. But the one that surprised me, and I still don't know where it came from, is Swedish. It was definitely a surprise. And the last time I checked my Ancestry DNA update, the Swedish percentage had actually gone up, which is weird. So that was an unusual thing. But yeah, when I did my Ancestry DNA, it basically was mostly German, a little bit of Britain and Scotland, and for some strange reason, Swedish. And that's pretty much all that's in me. Don't get the Swedish part, though. That confuses me. And it's funny because I went back and did the family tree bit, and still have not found anyone Swedish in my family tree. It's weird. Alright, gotta switch to a smaller one. Switching these brushes is always so much fun. Oh, that's an interesting... Danish is near Sweden, I think. Yeah, I understand that. It's just, I guess, it's just the Swedish thing that gets me, because doing my family tree, I still have not found any Swedish people. I mean, I understand that DNA is interesting, and you could end up with interesting results. But the Swedish part just confuses me. It's cool, but confusing. Yeah. Evidently, some of my ancestors were, maybe they were just travelers. Maybe they came from Sweden and settled in Germany. I could see that. Maybe. Yeah, Vikings did do quite a bit of traveling, so maybe it's just a little bit of Viking DNA in there. I could be a Valkyrie. Valkyrie? One of those words? Yeah, I mean, it is entirely possible. And once you start getting back into like the 16 and 1700s, finding anything and knowing for sure that you're finding the right stuff becomes very difficult. And I mean, I guess the Swedish could also be from my mom's mom's side of the family, because I have hit a dead end on that side of the family. So who knows, maybe they came from Sweden. Yeah, I am sure that you have the horned helmet thing if you have a Minnesota Vikings fan. Oh, they're not historically accurate, but they're fun. I think I saw something that said that the horned helmets are just basically from opera, but they're fun. Alright, there we go. I am almost done with this tree. And then we're going to make our owl. Obviously, if he's going to be dark brown, he will be a great horned owl, obviously. Obviously. Yeah, I'm sure that they do appreciate it on, like, football days. See, I would say on Sundays, because when I was growing up, I feel like football was always a Sunday thing. But from people that I know that are into sports nowadays, it seems like there's always a football game just about every single day of the week. I was talking to one of my friends and they were like, oh, there's a football game on tonight. And I'm like, but isn't it a Thursday? Like, I thought football was a Sunday thing. I am definitely not a sports ball person. Although I do like saying the word sports ball. Awesome. Nope, not awesome yet. I see a spot I missed. Bad. Yay! One tree down. Alright. New brush, new color. This one should work for our brown. I might need to go darker on that. That brown is very gold. I don't mind a little gold, but it was a very, very golden brown. My paint to glue ratio is indeterminate. I kind of do a dollop of glue and then just add paint until I get it to a color I like. Highly scientific, I know. I think my style is mixed red. Yeah, that would make a dark poop brown. I don't mind it being a little bit golden, but it was very, very golden. There we go. That is better. A slop to a dribble? That sounds about right, Hazel. I know when I was doing this last time, Becky was asking my ratios, and I'm like, I don't really have ratios. I just kind of go till it feels right. There we go. Now our little owl friend is definitely getting thicker paint, which is fine. He has feathers. He definitely needs thicker paint to kind of look like feathers. Now, I'm looking over at our first moon, and I'm definitely going to have to probably put a little bit more on, but I want to wait until it dries, so that might be something that I do like tomorrow, is come back in and make sure that I have color in all the spots that need color. I will definitely, once this is 100% done, put a picture of it up on the community tab. Hey, this is art, Scooter. This is not science. I am not Bill Nye the Science Guy. I'm doing art. You can't be too scientific with your art, or it's just not art. All right. So, our last moon is going to be a pink moon. Because pink. And also because pink is pretty. Alright, I might have to do some rearranging because I don't want too much of this thing hanging off the end, but I do want to still be able to actually work on it. So I'm probably going to completely mess with the camera for at least a couple of minutes. So if it starts going out of focus again, excuse it for at least a minute or two, and I will get it all fixed up again as soon as I can. I don't want this tipping. That would be bad. Alright. Move that. Move that. You know, I need to be much more... Oh, I am definitely more Bob Ross. I could just turn it upside down, but then we'd be looking at an upside down moon. Which, I mean, I guess that works. As long as you guys don't mind Our Lady Moon being upside down, I could probably do that. You guys love my setup here with my two 50-year-old tray tables? Gotta love our two 50-year-old tray tables being used as our palette. Alright, now the camera's going to do the wonky thing, but hopefully I can get it to be a good camera. There we go. Alright, Be patient with the wonky for a minute. It will calm down, hopefully. Back to the background. This time I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to start doing the blue at the top so I'm not dragging my hand through it. Look at me learning. Sometimes. A little bit. Oh, if I were even smarter, I would probably start on the right-hand side and paint left from the top to the bottom. You know, one of these days I'm going to figure all this stuff out, and then just watch out, world. It'll probably be when I'm about 95 years old, though. You do learn every time you play with it. Art is so much fun. Like, I really do. I think that's one of the things that I appreciate the most about having a YouTube channel and doing all this, and you guys putting up with all of me, is I've always loved drawing and sketching and stuff, but I feel like without YouTube and, oddly enough, Stephen King, I don't know that I'd be painting anymore. Or again. Because I really hadn't done any serious drawing or painting since high school, which was a very, very, very long time ago. Thank you very much. And it kind of all came down to a very serendipitous occasion of I was reading Stephen King's book Duna Key, which is a very good book. If you haven't read it, you should. And the main character in Duna Key is an artist. And just reading about him having his, art breakthrough. And then at the same time, I was inspired to do a painting for some YouTuber friends of mine. And that was kind of what started it all off. That's what started off my re-education and re-adventure into art. You know? So I always say this channel is owed to a friend of mine who I was trying to send video of how beautiful the UP was. That was basically what started the channel. And then the reading on the channel was for the same friend who could not get Anne McCaffrey books at their library. And yeah, the art kind of is due to my friends Smokey Steve and Mark, and also due to Stephen King. It's an interesting combination, isn't it? But yeah, if you have never read Stephen King's book Duna Key, you should read it. It's really, really good. At least I think it's really good. Also, guys, I have no desire to be president. That sounds like a nightmare. Oh, thank you, Hazel. Now I'm turning red. Now I'm glad that the camera's not on me. I say we put Stephen King for president. Except then we'd all end up being attacked and killed by Pennywise. I would vote Anne McCaffrey, but, you know, she's dead. If I were in charge, we'd all be doing paintings all day long. That could be fun. Our GDP would be art and books. The Langoliers. You know, it's funny because I don't think I would read Stephen King books out loud on the channel, but I've always loved Stephen King. You know? I love his style of writing, and I love so many of his books. I probably shouldn't have started reading Stephen King when I did at age 11, but you know, hey, I feel like so many of us Gen Xers probably did read Stephen King a little bit too early, and that's why we are the way we are. I saw that on Twitter. That's not my personal, I didn't come up with that. The reason Gen X is the way it is because we all picked up Stephen King books too early. That was a Twitter thing, but I did think it was funny, so. Yeah, he's really not. Although, you know, there is one Stephen King book that I could, with confidence, read on channel. I know this because I read it out loud to my kids when they were very young. And that is The Eyes of the Dragon. I love that book. And I read it to my kids when they were pretty darn young, and I only had to censor one part. I read my kids so many books that probably weren't, like, entirely kid appropriate. Not that they were, like, bad books or anything, but if I was not interested in reading the book myself, I didn't want to read it out loud to them because then I was going to be bored. So my kids got to read all sorts of cool books. But we did like reading out loud. I think that's where the whole reading out loud thing started for me. Is, you know, just sit down and read my kids a story. And there are so many good stories in the world. But yeah, The Eyes of the Dragon is possibly one that might get read on channel at some point in life. That could be a fun one. Stephen King's Fairy Tale. Oh, wow. I don't think I've read Sybil, but I do. That's the multiple personality one, right? I think. I do like reading the, like, older books. Also, I just realized that this paintbrush is dropping. Oh well, that's life. My paintbrush is shedding into the paint. That is sad, but that is life. See, I've always been a reader. Like, I don't actually ever remember a time when I couldn't read. I know that there was a time when I couldn't read, but I don't remember it. I think some of my very earliest memories are of various books. Did I see recently that they've called into question a lot of the parts of Sybil? Like, I think I saw something about that, a video about that recently. Like, not that DID is not a real thing, but I think I saw something saying that that book might not have actually been based on a true case or something. Or it might have been something else that I saw. There we go. Now maybe I see why people buy more expensive paintbrushes. Oh well, one day. Yeah, I have seen that there's a very big divide in parts of the psychiatry, etc. world. Oh, I love Mercedes Lackey. Actually, that's, speaking of Mercedes Lackey, funnily enough, just for myself right now, somebody was asking me one time how many books I read at a time, and I had to laugh because I'm always reading like 2 books for the channel, and then I have my bathroom book and I have my bed book. So, my current bathroom book is Mercedes Lackey and James Malloy's Obsidian trilogy. And that is absolutely fantastic, and I would love to read that one for the channel. But if I do, I'm going to have to ask for about 1,000 pounds of grace, because the names in that book are going to kill me worse than any of the names in Anne McCaffrey's books. But it is such a good series. And then my in-bed sleepy time book is Mercedes Lackey's Fairy Godmother series. So you mentioning Mercedes Lackey definitely makes me smile right now, because I am currently reading 2 different Mercedes Lackey's series at the moment. It's funny because Mercedes Lackey is one of those that wrote with Anne McCaffrey periodically, and I'm pretty sure that's where I decided that I liked her writing enough, because she is the one that wrote The Ship Who Searched along with Anne McCaffrey, and that is my very favorite of the Brain Ship books. And Mercedes Lackey on her own writes very well, and then in collaboration with James Malloy, that book is amazing. Like, the Obsidian trilogy is one of the few books that got my youngest child, who normally is not really into reading, he read that entire series and loved it. But yeah, it is full of names that will trip my tongue terribly. Far worse than things like Nemnith and Fandarl and all of those things that already trip my tongue bad enough. But every time I reread that series, I'm like, yeah, I need to put that on the list of things that potentially will be read on channel. You guys realize how much paint I have on my hands? I was laughing so hard. I was talking to my neighbor and her husband today, giving them an onion that I pulled out of my garden. And I was laughing because I looked down and realized my hands were covered with paint. Paint from painting and dirt from gardening. And I was like, huh. Well, a lady's hands proclaim her habits, and mine are very evident right now. My habits are painting and gardening, obviously. I have paper towels. I just haven't really been wiping my hands with them. I've been wiping the paintbrush with them. You know, I wish that YouTube's copyright system, I mean, I understand it, but sometimes I would really like to listen to music on here with you guys that, well, I absolutely adore listening to World of Warcraft music or other music that won't twig the copyright system. Sometimes I want something with words. But that's okay. Oh my gosh. Ink, any like ink stuff, I usually am just coated in that. I remember doing pen and ink. You know, if I actually painted my nails, I could use that excuse. Maybe I should just paint my nails with some of this paint. Oh my gosh, did I tell you guys that we now have 2 sets of goose babies that are coming for corn? Both of them are, there's 4 babies in each family, and the babies are very cute, and the parents are very, very cranky. I kind of get it. I would be very cranky if I had 4 crazy children. But the babies are very cute. And they're usually waiting every morning when we get up. And they're like, could we have corn, please? And I'm like, oh, yeah, coming. And then the gander usually comes hissing at me with his tongue sticking out. And I laugh at him. Oh, you know what, Georgia? You and me both. Getting all the dirt out from under your fingernails, especially if you do anything like gardening, is very, very hard. I always say it's a very good thing that I live in the middle of the woods, and mostly who sees me is chickadees and squirrels. Because they don't really care if I'm dressed up, and they don't care if I have dirt under my fingernails. Heck, I don't even think that the squirrels care if I manage to brush my hair in the morning. They just want some corn. I missed whatever got retracted there, but Hazel thought it was funny. Just trying to get all these edges done, and then we will move on to our lovely pink moon. Almost. All right. Almost done. Well, mostly. No redactions. I think, because my mom used to have beautiful nails. Like, long, beautiful nails. And she did a lot of gardening. And I think she swore by basically dragging her fingernails through a bar of soap and kind of getting the bar of soap under her nails before she would go out and do her gardening. And I think I've seen a couple other people do that. Sing along to bagpipes. Oh, that would be an interesting idea, wouldn't it? Alright, let me wash these brushes. I think we are done with the blue. Ah! My paint pot was trying to fall apart. Oh my gosh, how have we been here for 2 hours, guys? We've got to finish this moon and do our edge pieces and be all good. I don't think we're going to be doing a second art piece tonight. Especially considering I still have to read tomorrow's Shippu 1. Because I've been doing art all day. But that's okay. Well, and I think that my mom really loved doing that because on top of 2 items not being able to occupy the same space, it also basically had soap underneath, you know? Ooh, coffee. Coffee sounds good. I don't need coffee right now. But it sounds like something I need. Yeah, I'll take a cup of coffee, Hazel. Oh, darn it. I'm so dumb. I have Faygo. I always forget that I pour myself a Faygo before I start these streams. And then I forget I have it. And I'm like, why am I so thirsty at the end of the stream? Oh, yeah. It's because you got distracted. What, me? Getting distracted? Never. Okay, always. I'm really kind of curious how this is going to dry. Because it will look kind of bad, at least until it completely dries. A Faygo? Oh my gosh. Okay. A Faygo is this. There we go. This is Faygo Rock and Rye. And Faygo is a local Michigan pop that is amazing. I think you can get it in places other than Michigan, but it is a homebrewed Michigan thing. Don't ask me what the flavor of rock and rye is, because I really couldn't tell you. All I know is it's delicious. And it's one of the few pops that I still allow myself to drink. And then Faygo also makes red pop. And you can ask me what flavor red pop is, and I'm just going to tell you that it's red. Sorry, yeah, I probably was mumbling a little bit there. It's what happens when I keep putting extra paintbrushes in my mouth to hold on to for when I need them. So, you know, you stick a paintbrush in your mouth and then you try to talk around it. Faygo is wonderful. Everyone should try a Faygo. It's almost as good as Werner's. Oh, Werner's is wonderful. Hey Becky, how is your mom? I hope she's doing good. I've thought about her and you several times in the last week. Oh, smartest, cutest 8-year-old. I take it this must be a smart, cute 8-year-old that's either related to you or a very good friend of the family. We're making this moon pink. Well, opaly pink, but still pink. But yeah, I have definitely been thinking about your mom. She's doing well. Oh, well, you know what? If she's doing well and her healing goes well, then tell her that she can probably do the going for walks and laundry when she is a little bit better. I'm glad to hear she's doing well, though. We are doing edges. Very nice. I have got so much paint on my fingers. That sounds pretty cool, Becky. Now, Becky, you're in Western Canada, right? I think that was what you had said. So hopefully you're not being affected by all the fires up there. You know, doing the stuff around, like, the lines is so nerve-wracking. even though I know I can fix it with a Sharpie if I have to later. You're getting the oh, Eleanor, hello! I have not seen you tonight. I'm going to be flipping this panel back over now that I've done the top. So watch for the camera going a little bit crazy, but I'm going to do a quick flip of our moons. And hopefully that will work. All right. Is it gonna work? That is the question. Play with the camera a little bit. There we go. Totally worked. At least mostly. Whew. We're getting there, folks. We are getting there. The moon is getting closer to being done. Every time I look at my hands, I'm like, I should go wash my hands again, but darn it, I do want to finish this tonight. So I'm just going to have to deal with painted hands until after the live is done. Coffee does sound good, man. But I'm just going to keep reminding myself that I have a bottle of water and some Faygo in my cup, so I don't actually need coffee right now. No matter how good it sounds. Hazel just started a mass exodus of everybody to go get coffee. Yeah, everybody, Hazel, you started everybody on a coffee needing thing. Scooter had to go make himself some coffee. And yes, Becky is here and Eleanor has joined us. Huzzah! A lot of the gang is here. I think that this moon's hair should definitely be a color. I just haven't decided on what. I might just tint this pink a little bit and just make the hair just a slightly different one. Or I might go into the golds again for the hair. Hair/cloud. Gold might actually be a better idea. Okay, what is jitter juice? I don't think I know what that is. Oh wait, are you calling coffee jitter juice and I'm just dumb? I could just be dumb. It took me a minute. Yeah, it took me a minute, but I think I get it now. I feel a little bit silly. Oh my gosh. So, do you guys realize that I think this Friday will probably be our last day leveling Blario the monk? Because we got her to level 69 last time, which means she only has one level until she hits her cap and will be max level. Ooh, light purple? Pearly? Okay. I am totally into a light purple. That sounds absolutely perfect. Plus, it'll kind of tie in with the whole pinkish moon with a pearly, purpley lavender hair. I love it. Great minds all thinking alike there in the chat. Yeah, well, I think everybody's inner teenager giggles a little bit whenever that number is brought up. Well, you know, we're always here, and we are always happy to have you when you get here. And there's always the replay. It's not as much fun because you don't get to chat, but there's always the replay. All right. Nope. I was like, am I done with the pink? But no, there's a little bit of moon. This is not hair. I mean, the moon could be named Cindy. Whew. Ah, this is fun. Okay, now I need to mix in a purple on my palette. Where did my palette go? There it is. I'm going to use some of the same moon color as the base. There we go. Because girls just want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have... Where is my bucket of paint? That is the best question ever. Where did I put it? Hello, basket of paint. Where did I put you? Huh. I have a basket of acrylic paint. Oh, I'm dumb. Found it. Add a little bit of purple to all of the pink. And then mix it until we're happy with it. Ooh, that's pretty. I think you can see it. Oh, girls just wanna have fun. Oh, that is a pretty color. Okay, I am satisfied with our lavender. Huzzah. Oh, Kai always tells me that too. I can't help it. It's a thing that I always say to myself, and I probably should stop. I think my favorite Cyndi Lauper song is True Colors. I love that song. It is such a good song. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of sparkle in the lavender. Like more than I got with the pink, I feel like. You know, I remember when Cyndi Lauper was still very new. I remember Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. That just takes me back to like middle school. Mostly good times. Okay. I might give it a little bit more, maybe a little bit darker or a little bit lighter, so it's not exactly matching her hair. But that'll work. Cyndi is a beautiful moon. Okay, but what's our boy moon? Because our golden moon is definitely the male moon face. So what's his name? '80s for his name. I mean, he could be George. I mean, Cyndi Lauper and Boy George just kind of seem to be the same era and about the same vibe. Oh, Prince. Little red Corvette. Adamant. Oh my gosh, now that takes me back. Okay, I've told this story before, but I don't think I added that Adam Ant was prominent in the story. Pretty much the only time in my life I've ever been stupid amounts of drunk, and pretty much the reason that to this day I don't really drink is because when I was 16, yeah, a really good age to get drunk. When I was 16, I, along with my best friend at the time, we each drank half of a fifth of Southern Comfort. mixed with Mountain Dew, which, yes, I also don't drink Mountain Dew to this day. Anyway, so little me at age 16 was maybe 110 pounds, maybe. And I drank half of a fifth of Southern Comfort and was very, very drunk. And very prominent in that day was me and my friend at the time singing at the top of our lungs while walking through downtown Ferndale, Michigan, singing Strip. So Adamant Strip at the top of our lungs, very drunkenly. And that was right before we went to McDonald's, which is where, for me, the vomiting began. So, yeah. Whenever I think about drinking or Adamant, I think about drinking, and then I think about being sick, which is not nearly as much fun, but you know what? It did keep me from ever becoming an alcoholic, I guess. I can't even stand the smell of hard liquor to this day. And I've only been drunk like that once, but oh my gosh. And it was really bad because I was so little at the time. You know, so like very, very not, you know, like maybe 100 pounds. I was about 4'11". And that much alcohol, I actually threw up for 3 days. I'm probably lucky that I didn't end up in the hospital. But you know what? It did stop me from ever really wanting to get drunk again, so that part was good, I guess. I know a lot of youpers that would beg to differ. I know a lot of people who seem to be very, very professional at their drinking. Just not me. You know? It's just not something I'm into. The only alcohol I can really even stomach to this day is it's gotta taste like candy, and if it tastes like candy, then I'd rather just have candy. I think the only drink that I ever really actually enjoyed were fuzzy navels. And then I discovered that I could just make them non-alcoholic with just peach juice and orange juice mixed on ice, and then I was even happier. It probably worked out for the best because I actually have a lot of family members who are alcoholics. So having a massive aversion therapy hit me at age 16 probably did me a lot of good. I've got lots of friends who, you know, like various forms of alcohol. It's just not my thing. When my brother comes to visit, which isn't very often, but he's been up here a couple of times since I got the place, he loves beer. Like, he is a very, very, I would almost say connoisseur of beer, but I don't know if you can actually be a connoisseur of beer. And he likes to come up here and go to a lot of the little breweries that are up here. There's a bunch of little micro breweries around, and he likes those. And that's fine. I can be the designated driver. Which is hilarious because he hates it when I drive, because his idea of driving is at least 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, and I'm a speed limit girly. Now, I do like Guinness, not to drink. One of my very favorite beef recipes that I learned to make when I lived in Texas involves Guinness. And my friend called it Italian beef. I don't know if it actually is Italian, but you take a cheap cut of alcohol is a solution. I learned that. It's a solution and something else is a base. Anyway, this Italian beef recipe with the Guinness, you need at least 3 bottles of Guinness, a tough, cheap cut of beef, and a couple of jars of pepperoncini peppers. And you boil your beef in regular water until it's cooked through, and then you turn it down to a simmer and you keep adding Guinness until it all has simmered off, and then you add in your jar of pepperoncinis and shred. And it tastes really, really good, especially if you serve it on tortillas or over rice. Also, I'm going to have to pull the blue out. I'm seeing a couple spots that I missed here. But first we get the purple. I've heard about doing that. Beer butt chicken. In fact, I think I've had it, but I've never cooked it myself. Oh, that's so pretty. Alright, we're going to do some lipstick on our moon. A thinner coat, so it's a little bit more see-through. There we go. Yeah, it probably isn't. It's probably like my mom's version of enchiladas. Absolutely delicious, but definitely not actual enchiladas. Alright, I gotta touch up this blue really quick, because it's going to bother me if I don't. You know, that is very true. But some of them have names that are completely not anywhere near descriptive of the thing that you're actually cooking. We're getting there. Oh, I really like that. Alright, now I think what I want to do is a little bit of straight silver and then just a hint of blue on her little decoration there. And I think if I work fast enough, I can do what is in my head actually on the glass. Wish me luck, everybody. Because I have an idea. There we go. No! Bad silver. Don't run away. I need to make this thick so I can do the swirl idea. There we go. Ideas can be dangerous. Ah! Especially when I just dropped a drip of silver. That's okay, we're gonna call that a star. It's not an accident, it's a happy little star. Which is kind of like a happy little tree, but not quite. Kind of working out the way I wanted it to. Hello, Jezebel. I hear and kind of see a kitty. Alright, well that kind of gave it a two-tone thing. That'll work. We'll call it good. It is midnight here for me, which means it's almost time to do the bedtime thing. Oh, hello, Gina. By the way, I meant to say hello and got distracted. Obviously, you're right. I do need to add a few more stars. Just a couple. Definitely shades of Bob Ross. Happy little accidents. Now I'm just getting silly. But you know, if you're gonna make an accident, just roll with it. Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up here in just a couple minutes, guys. Mostly because I just remembered yet again that I do have to still read tomorrow's chapter of The Ship Who Won. I'm not sure that I like that. I bet I can fix it, though. Everybody hold your breath and try not to look too much. There we go. Now we just pull the blue back out really quick. Ha 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 ha. We can fix almost anything with just more paint. Good night. Sleep well. I will be doing the good night thing soon myself. Just have to read a chapter, and it can upload while I sleep for tomorrow. Look at that. I'm going to leave the other little stars, but that big one was just getting a little bit silly. Huzzah! Alright, so on my own tomorrow, I'm going to do the, the border. I will probably do it in dark colors, but I will do that on my own tomorrow. It should be pretty good. I am definitely going to post a picture of this in the community tab, just so that everybody can see how it turned out. Ah! I just dropped silver paint on my carpet because I am beauty. I am grace. I drop paint. Thankfully not on my face. Ah, and Scooter. And anybody who missed it, let me see if I can do this without absolutely getting ridiculously silly. There we go. Oh, look, hi, it's me. I look terrible tonight. But that's okay. And the house is an absolute wreck, but you know what? That's also okay. Let me do this and do this. There we go. Hello, welcome to my messy house. Anyway, alright. So I'm just going to show off really quick. Obviously not showing off my messy house. That is not the thing. But just so that everybody can see them one more time, I'm going to show off the two so far. I'm going to knock things down. I'm going to show off the two tote bags that I have made so far. And that is... yes, that is a gray GameCube and a white Wii, and then somewhere down that way is the Wii U. And I just saw Jezebel walk by, because of course I did. But anyway, here is the first of the tote bags that I made that will be given away. And then, oh, that's maybe better. I can't tell if that's better. Alright, so tote bag number 1. I made that one yesterday, and this is the back. And that, when I hit 2,000 subscribers, that's going to be one of the giveaway items. And then this is the second one that I made today. And then on the back of it, which Becky will recognize because I know she was in that live, the back of that one is going to have the frazzled unicorn on it. I think it's going to turn out pretty darn good. So, and then I'm going to do a third one, and I had a suggestion from the chat to do the third one as some sort of a lighthouse. So I will work on trying to see if I can draw one of those and then maybe paint. But yeah, whenever my channel hits 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away 3 of those tote bags. Well, those 2 plus whichever one I end up painting next. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you coming to the live, even if my hair and the headphones are just absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna go read a chapter. I'm gonna let this paint all dry. I will put a picture up on the community tab once it is all done. Everybody say hi to Jezebel, who keeps walking by. And Scooter, I could see you going shopping with those on your Harley. Totally. Anyway, if you're not doing anything on Friday, we should be hitting level 70 with our Peaceful Monk. So if you want to be there for that milestone, then join me Friday. But other than that, have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you guys later.